Okay, guys, I'm trying something new. I want to start a little podcast type thing, I guess. I'm going to call it The Disillusionment. It's going to be chapter 1. It's going to be on BLM, the global organization. The first source that I get this information from is her story from the BLM people. Okay, search her story, BLM, you'll find this. The founders are Alicia Garza, Patrice Cullors, and remember that name, and Opal Tometi. They created BLM in response to the acquittal of Trayvon Martin's murderer, George Zimmerman. I'm not going to get into George Zimmerman right now. There's still a lot of controversy around that. I'm still not really sure how I feel about that because the man made a mistake, and I hope he learned from it. But I also hope that he's sitting there in shame, feeling bad every time he sees a child. Maybe that's wrong of me. Maybe that's sin because I'm supposed to forgive and forget. But the dude messed up. And I don't think he deserves to be hated or despised or anything like that. You know, like, I legitimately think he made a mistake that night. And it's sad. It's a tragedy. BLM organization used social media to spread their agenda. Alright, y'all, this is the source on this is Cambridge University Press. What kind of movement is BLM? The View from Twitter. Okay. BLM organization used social media to spread their agenda. That's my quote. Alright, now, open quote. The main finding presented in the paper is that the model tweet generated between December 1st, 2015 and October 31st, 2016 was an emotional response. Close quote. Look, y'all, the police brutality and the killing of African American people, it's true. It's real. Like, it's happening, all right? They do stereotype, all right? The law does that. And some of them abuse their power, all right? I ain't going to sugarcoat it. There are bad police out there that abuse their power all the time. And I'll be coming after them in a later video. But nobody is ready to talk about the fact that there's police out there that feed the homeless or rescue little kids or lock up murderers or rapists or anybody else. Excuse me. Time out. I'll be right back. Let me pause it. Alright. Now I'm gonna quote a lot from Washington Times right now. Some of it's going to be in my own words, so I'm not going to open quotes, close quotes, but a lot of this information comes from Washington Times. I will open a quote on this one. Open quote. Politicians and various social justice groups have long used labels that have nothing to do with the real intent of legislation or an organization to dupe the public. Close quote. That's from the Washington Times. Many civil rights bills have been passed by Congress. Lots of them lots and lots of them, y'all. Lots and lots of bills have been passed by Congress that are civil rights bills, but they have absolutely nothing to do with civil rights. I mean, just look at just what's going on with this damn stimulus, this COVID relief bill. Trump told him to go back to work. Look at what's happening with the defense bill. Like, some of the stuff that they're trying to spend money on is bribes. Alright, payouts to other people. I'm not just talking about liberals, y'all. There are Republicans up there that are just as bad as the liberals, okay? Trust me. And not all liberals are on the take. They're disillusioned too, you know, and they're like, oh, it sounds good, and I think I can run on this ticket. I feel like they're preaching a good message, and so they run on a ticket. Like old dummy over here where I live, Beto O'Rourke. Not going to get into him. I'm not going to get into him. Okay. Y'all, hordes of white CEOs are paying what is essentially bribes to protect themselves and their companies from any allegations of racism or possible allegations of racism or possible charges of racism brought against them. Okay? Alright, y'all. According to Acton, the following principles of BLM include a guaranteed minimum income for all black people, free healthcare, free school, free food, free real estate, gender reassignment, surgery, free abortion that's already disproportionately high among African American women, 27.1 per thousand versus 10 per thousand. You can search that information yourself to verify it. But apparently, unborn black lives don't matter. DC's chapter has even called for no new jails. I mean, just look at what's going on in New York, California. The crime's already starting to rise. You stop building jails and, alright, well, the jails are full. Let's just go on a rampage. Heck, it'll be years before they build another one. 2-3 years. Hell, they can't round us all up after they get it built. Sorry. BLM also demands reparations and want to create a global liberation movement to overturn U.S. imperialism and capitalism. Wait, it gets darker. According to New York Post, Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrisse Cullors said in an interview that she and her fellow organizers are trained Marxists. They're Marxist, socialist people. I mean, obviously, you heard what they stand on, the free... Y'all, I'll get to that. Our government / Congress work with these people, y'all. They work with them. In Atlanta, they burned a Wendy's after a police shooting. They have tried to drag innocent civilians out of vehicles to cause harm whilst accusing them of racism, and they don't even know him. How do you know he's a racist? Why are you trying to drag that person out of his car? Or her? They got kids in the car sometimes. Like, calm down, people. Where's your compassion for other folks? Like, it's going to be hard for us in the near future to have compassion for a lot of these young kids. I'm not just talking about black ones. I'm talking about these young white teenagers, these black kids, and some of these black adults that are leading the charge. Okay? It's going to be hard for us to have compassion for them. Like in the case of Kyle Rittenhouse. Like, that man was being attacked and he shot and defended himself. You can call me a racist for saying it. I don't care. If believing in the right to defend yourself makes me a racist, then by God, I'm a goddamn racist. Lord, please forgive me. Alright. A large portion of BLM is made up of white teenagers that have been illusioned. I don't even know if that's a word. I think it is. But if it ain't, it is now. I made it. You heard it here first. There's a video on YouTube, y'all, that brings tears to my eyes. I mean... If you type in, "Don't burn my store," black businessman screams after white protesters. All I know is, look, "Don't burn my store." Black businessman screams, white protesters. Type that in. That video will be the first one to pop up. If you type that in, you'll find it. That shit brings tears to my eyes, y'all. It makes me cry. It makes me cry. Alright? This black man's from the ghetto too, just barely getting by a mom and pop grocery store or whatever it is, y'all. And a group called Black Lives Matter out protesting social injustice, creating social injustice. Nothing about BLM as an organization is for black people. A lot of these kids think, yeah, we're doing it to better the black people, but they don't realize what's going on. And that's why I call this the Disillusionment Project, or the Disillusionment. I like the Disillusionment Project better. I'll add that project on there. All that bullshit about living wages, such and such, is because they want you to pin it upon them, the government, okay? They want you to pin it upon Congress. Those bunch of backstabbing, the rhinos, the liberals, Pelosi, Peters, they're two of the worst ones in my eyes. Especially Peters, he's a little weasel. Senator Peters from, where's he from? Michigan, Wisconsin, Michigan? Wherever he's from. He's a weasel. Pelosi's one of the worst. She's a devil. She's a devil. They want you to pin it upon them so they could take all your rights eventually. That real estate, mark my words, you heard it here first. If this ever comes to pass, will be just like the ghetto is right now. They ain't gonna let you go out and pick your own place, your own spot. They won't do it. They're going to pick a house for you. They're going to herd you just like sheep. That's all I got today, y'all. Thank you. God bless. And Merry Christmas. Hey, and a Happy New Year. You heard it here first.